Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. We love to take these esoteric topics and kind of pick them apart and see what we can learn from them. And today is no different. We are going to be diving into numerology.
Very exciting.
Yes. And we have a fascinating numerology horoscope for 2025. So if you are listening to this in the future, this
Oh,
is for you. But it might be interesting to see how things shake out and how accurate it was. And this one specifically is really relevant for people who were born on the 5th or the 14th and the 23rd of any month.
yes, that's right. Because all of those dates add up to the number 5.
Oh, okay.
So
So
when you add all of the digits together, so for example, 23, 2 plus 3 equals 5. And in numerology, that means you have a root number of 5.
got it. Okay. So 5 is my root number.
That's right.
And in numerology, what does that even mean?
Well, in numerology, it means that you are connected to the energy of the planet Mercury.
Okay. Mercury, like the planet.
That's right.
Okay. So I'm a little bit like walking, talking Mercury.
Well, not exactly walking, talking, but Mercury's influence is definitely a key part of your numerological profile. So this horoscope suggests that if your root number is 5, you're likely someone who really thrives on using your intellect.
Okay.
You value reason and logic,
Yeah.
and you might find yourself drawn to analyzing situations, debating different viewpoints, and coming up with creative solutions.
I do love a good debate. I'm just gonna lie.
There you go.
Yeah. But this also makes me think of those times, when I can get a little stuck in my head, overthinking everything. Is that part of this Mercury influence too?
It could be. Yeah, the horoscope highlights both the positive and challenging aspects of having a root number of 5. It mentions that while you might be naturally quick-witted and enjoy mental stimulation, there's also potential for impatience and even confusion
Oh.
if you don't manage this energy effectively.
Okay, so like most things, it's all about balance, right?
Exactly.
Finding that sweet spot where you're using your intellect, but not letting it run away with you.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. The horoscope emphasizes that a balanced nature is ideal for those with a root number of 5.
Okay.
And it even suggests seeking professional help.
Oh, wow.
If you find yourself struggling with confusion or feeling overwhelmed by your thoughts.
Yeah, that's a good reminder that it's okay to ask for support when we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But, okay, back to the positive traits for a second. The horoscope also mentions something about people with root number 5 being quite charming and persuasive.
It did.
Right.
Yes. It suggests that your communication style can be quite captivating, especially for women. It says, apparently you have a way with words that can be quite influential, particularly in professional settings.
Yeah, okay. I will try to use my powers for good.
There you go.
But I'm curious, what does this numerology horoscope actually say about what 2025 holds for us root number 5 folks?
Well, according to this source, the numbers 5, 9, 1, and 4 are going to be especially influential for you in 2025. And here's the interesting part. All of those numbers except for the number 9 are considered to be highly supportive. So that's a pretty good starting point, wouldn't you say?
It sounds promising. What does this mean for different areas of life, like, say, my career?
Oh, for those in business, the horoscope predicts excellent outcomes in 2025. Think growth, new ventures, overall success. If you've been thinking about launching a new project or taking your business to the next level, this might be the year to go for it.
So if I've been dreaming of starting my own podcast network, 2025 is looking good.
It seems like the energy is aligned for bold moves like that. It even mentions favorable prospects for those seeking job changes. So whether you're an entrepreneur or looking for a new opportunity within your field, 2025 could bring some exciting developments.
Wow, I'm already feeling more energized just hearing this.
That's great.
What about travel? Any adventures on the horizon for us, root number 5s?
Well, the horoscope specifically mentions success and enjoyment related to travel in 2025. So whether it's a long-awaited vacation or a business trip that takes you to new places, it seems like travel is highly favored for you this year.
You know what often goes hand in hand with travel? Creative inspiration. I'm wondering if the horoscope touches on that at all.
It's interesting you should say that because the horoscope highlights 2025 as a particularly good year for writers, readers, and debaters.
Really?
This suggests that those with root number 5 might experience a surge in intellectual curiosity and creative energy this year.
Which makes sense given Mercury's connection to communication and ideas.
It does.
But what about other fields like government or administrative roles? Any insights there?
Yes, the horoscope mentions potential for success in those fields as well.
Bro.
So if you're working in government administration or a related area, it seems 2025 could bring some positive opportunities for growth or advancement.
So far, so good.
Right.
But this all seems almost too good to be true. Is there anything in this numerology reading that suggests we should be proceeding with caution in any areas?
Well, remember that number 9 we mentioned earlier? It seems that while most areas are looking bright for those with root number 5, real estate is one area where we might need to be a little more cautious in 2025.
Uh-oh. That's never what you want to hear. What's the issue with real estate this year?
The horoscope indicates that number 9 isn't particularly favorable when it comes to real estate matters in 2025. It advises against rushing into any major decisions related to property, suggesting that careful consideration and planning are key.
So maybe hold off on buying that dream vacation home, even if I find an amazing deal.
It's probably wise to approach any real estate decisions with a bit more caution and seek expert advice if needed. It seems like this is one area where things could get a bit more complex in 2025.
Okay, noted. Are there any other areas where the horoscope suggests we should be extra careful this year?
Thankfully, no. The horoscope reassures that matters related to vehicles, for instance, shouldn't present any major obstacles. In fact, it suggests generally positive outcomes in that area.
Okay, that's a relief. So all in all, it seems like 2025 is shaping up to be a pretty positive year for those of us with root number 5, as long as we navigate the real estate market carefully.
Exactly.
But there are a few more intriguing points in this numerology horoscope that we need to delve into.
Yes.
For example, it mentions some specific remedies for those with root number 5 to help navigate the year ahead.
Yes. Remedies.
Remedies? I'm intrigued.
Tell me more about what this horoscope recommends.
Well, these remedies are a fascinating blend of practical advice and practices drawn from spiritual traditions.
Okay, color me intrigued. Lay it on me. What does this numerology horoscope recommend we do to make the most of 2025?
The first remedy it suggests is reciting something called the Ganapati Atharvashirsha regularly.
I have to admit I'm not familiar with that. Can you shed some light on what that is?
It is a Sanskrit hymn dedicated to Lord Ganesha, a Hindu deity who is believed to remove obstacles and bring good fortune. So it's suggesting we tap into a spiritual practice for support and guidance throughout the year. Does it explain why this specific hymn is recommended for those with root number 5?
It doesn't go into specifics, but it is interesting to note that this remedy is presented as a general practice for well-being, not just for specific challenges. Perhaps it's about aligning ourselves with positive energy from the start.
Yeah, I can see how incorporating a practice like that could help cultivate a more balanced and grounded mindset.
Yeah.
This is something the horoscope has emphasized. What's the next remedy it suggests?
The horoscope recommends reciting the Sundarkand every Tuesday.
Another Sanskrit text. Tell me more about this one.
Yes, the Sundarkand is a chapter from the Hindu epic, the Ramayana.
Okay.
It is believed to have protective powers and is often recited for overcoming difficulties.
So this one seems more targeted toward navigating specific obstacles that might come throughout the year. I'm noticing a theme here with these remedies connecting back to spirituality and ancient tradition.
It is definitely fascinating how the horoscope combines these spiritual practices with specific days of the week. For example, the next remedy also involves Tuesdays.
Okay, I'm really curious now. What does it say about Tuesdays?
It suggests offering red sweets and fruits at a temple on Tuesdays.
That's interesting. This one feels a bit more tangible and action-oriented compared to reciting hymns.
It does, doesn't it? This remedy seems to emphasize an act of devotion and offering, which is a common practice in many spiritual traditions. And the choice of red sweets and fruits might hold specific symbolism within those traditions as well.
Yeah, it definitely adds another layer of depth to these remedies. I have to admit, I'm finding myself drawn to the idea of incorporating some of these practices into my routine, even if I don't fully understand the symbolism behind them.
I think that's a great approach. These remedies can be seen as invitations to explore different ways of connecting with ourselves and the world around us. They encourage a sense of intentionality and openness to new experiences.
All right, we've heard about reciting ancient hymns and making offerings. What's the final remedy this numerology horoscope has in store for us?
This one is perhaps the most unexpected. It suggests donating 4 radishes to sanitation workers on Saturdays.
Radishes? Now that's a curveball. I have to admit, I'm a bit lost on this one.
It does seem to come out of left field, doesn't it? While the horoscope doesn't explain the reasoning behind this specific remedy, I think it invites us to consider the symbolism involved.
Okay, let's put on our symbolic thinking caps. What could radishes represent in this context?
Well, radishes are root vegetables, and roots often symbolize grounding, stability, and connection to the earth.
Oh, that makes sense. And sanitation workers play a vital role in keeping our environment clean and healthy. Donating to them could be seen as an act of gratitude for their often overlooked but essential work.
Exactly. It's almost like a reminder to stay grounded and connected to the practical, everyday aspects of life, even while exploring these more mystical and philosophical concepts.
I love that interpretation. It ties back nicely to that idea of balancing logic with the state of the nation, which we touched on earlier.
It does, doesn't it?
It suggests that our personal growth and well-being are intertwined with the well-being of our communities and the world around us.
It does.
Okay, so we've got remedies that range from reciting ancient hymns to offering fruits and even donating radishes. It's quite a mix. What do you make of this blend of practical and spiritual advice?
I think it speaks to the multifaceted nature of numerology itself. It's not just about calculations and predictions, it's about self-awareness, personal growth, and connecting to something larger than ourselves.
I'm also struck by the emphasis on Tuesdays in a few of these remedies.
Hmm.
Any thoughts on what significance Tuesdays might hold in this context?
While the horoscope doesn't explicitly explain it, I think it encourages us to explore the deeper meanings associated with different days of the week. Perhaps Tuesdays hold a particular energy that aligns with these specific practices.
I'm definitely adding research, the numerological significance of Tuesdays to my to-do list.
There you go.
But for now, I think we've covered the remedies in detail. Is there anything else from this numerology reading that we should highlight before moving on?
Yes, there's one more point that I think deserves attention. Remember how the horoscope emphasized that while a balanced approach is generally favored for those with root number 5, impatience can be a challenge.
Yes. It even mentioned that impatience can sometimes lead to ruined work or missed opportunities.
Exactly. And this is where the advice to seek guidance from experienced and wise individuals becomes particularly relevant.
So it's not just about managing our own impatience, but also about recognizing when we might need external perspectives to make sound decisions.
That's a great way to put it. It's like a reminder that even those of us who pride ourselves on logic and quick thinking can benefit from tapping into the wisdom of others.
It's humbling, isn't it, to acknowledge that we don't always have all the answers and that seeking advice can actually be a strength, not a weakness.
Absolutely. And it ties in beautifully with that concept of balancing logic with the state of the nation. Sometimes understanding the bigger picture requires stepping outside of our own individual perspectives and seeking insights from those who have a different vantage point.
So it's not just about gathering information, but also about cultivating a sense of humility and recognizing the value of diverse perspective.
Precisely. And I think that's a powerful message to carry with us, not just in 2025, but in all aspects of life.
Well said. I think we've officially reached peak wisdom for one episode.
I agree. It's time to wrap up our deep dive into numerology and what the year 2025 holds for those with root number 5.
To recap, if you were born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd of any month, numerology suggests you're in for a dynamic and potentially rewarding year.
You might excel in areas like business travel and creative pursuits, but remember to approach real estate matters with caution.
And above all, remember to balance your natural logic and quick wit with patience, thoughtful consideration, and a willingness to seek guidance when needed.
As we navigate an ever-changing world, may we all strive to balance our individual journeys with a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things.
Beautifully said. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
See you next time.
Okay, so we've got these remedies that range from reciting ancient hymns to offering fruits and even donating radishes. It's quite a mix. What do you make of this blend of practical and spiritual advice?
Well, I think it speaks to the multifaceted nature of numerology itself. It's not just about calculations and predictions. It's about self-awareness, personal growth, and connecting to something larger than ourselves.
I'm also struck by the emphasis on Tuesdays in a few of these remedies. Any thoughts on what significance Tuesdays might hold in this context?
While the horoscope doesn't explicitly explain it, I think it encourages us to explore the deeper meanings associated with different days of the week. Perhaps Tuesdays hold a particular energy that aligns with these specific practices.
I'm definitely adding research the numerological significance of Tuesdays to my to-do list, but for now, I think we've covered the remedies in detail. Is there anything else from this numerology reading that we should highlight before moving on?
Yes, there's one more point that I think deserves attention. Remember how the horoscope emphasized that while a balanced approach is generally favored for those with root number 5, impatience can be a challenge.
Yes. It even mentioned that impatience can sometimes lead to ruined work or missed opportunities.
Exactly. And this is where the advice to seek guidance from experienced and wise individuals becomes particularly relevant.
So it's not just about managing our own impatience, but also about recognizing when we might need external perspectives to make sound decisions.
That's a great way to put it. It's like a reminder that even those of us who pride ourselves on logic and quick thinking can benefit from tapping into the wisdom of others.
It's humbling, isn't it? To acknowledge that we don't always have all the answers, and that seeking advice can actually be a strength, not a weakness.
Absolutely. And it ties in beautifully with that concept of balancing logic with the state of the nation. Sometimes understanding the bigger picture requires stepping outside of our own individual perspectives and seeking insights from those who have a different vantage point.
So it's not just about gathering information, but also about cultivating a sense of humility and recognizing the value of diverse perspective.
Precisely. And I think that's a powerful message to carry with us, not just in 2025, but in all aspects of life.
Well said. I think we've officially reached peak wisdom for one episode.
I agree. It's time to wrap up our deep dive into numerology and what the year 2025 holds for those with root number 5.
To recap, if you were born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd of any month, numerology suggests you're in for a dynamic and potentially rewarding year.
You might excel in areas like business travel and creative pursuits, but remember to approach real estate matters with caution.
And above all, remember to balance your natural logic and quick wit with patience, thoughtful consideration, and a willingness to seek guidance when needed.
As we navigate an ever-changing world, may we all strive to balance our individual journeys with a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things.
Beautifully said. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
See you next time.
It's amazing how much we've uncovered just by looking at this numerology report. We've talked about personality traits, we've looked at predictions for different areas of life, and we even got into these fascinating spiritual remedies. It's really got me thinking about all the different ways this ancient system can be applied.
It really speaks to the depth and complexity of numerology and how it can offer insights into various aspects of our lives.
Definitely. And speaking of insights, there's one more thing from the horoscope that I wanted to touch on. It mentioned that women with root number 5 might find that their conversation style is particularly influential.
Oh, yes. The horoscope suggests that women with this root number often possess a natural charm and persuasive ability when it comes to communication.
I wonder if that relates back to Mercury's influence. After all, Mercury is associated with communication, wit, and intellect.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. It makes sense that those qualities might manifest differently based on individual experiences and societal norms.
Right. It's like numerology provides these general guidelines, but it's up to each of us to interpret and apply them to our own unique circumstances.
Absolutely. It's about self-discovery and using these tools to better understand ourselves and our place in the world.
So maybe it's not just about knowing our root number, but also about recognizing how those inherent energies can play out in different areas of our lives.
Exactly. It's about embracing our strength and understanding how we can leverage them effectively.
As we wrap up this deep dive into numerology and what 2025 holds for those with root number 5, is there any final thought that you would like to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important takeaway is that while numerology can provide valuable guidance and insights, it's ultimately up to each individual to shape their own destiny.
It's empowering to remember that we have agency and that we can make choices that influence the course of our lives.
Exactly. And as we've discussed, 2025 is looking quite bright for those with root number 5. It's a year filled with potential opportunities for growth, adventure, and creative expression.
Of course, there may be challenges along the way, but that's where the importance of balance comes in.
Right. Remember to balance your quick wit with patience, seek guidance when needed, and always try to connect your personal goals with a broader understanding of the world around you.
And who knows, maybe incorporating some of those unique remedies we discussed could provide an extra layer of support and inspiration throughout the year.
It's certainly an invitation to explore new possibilities.
Well said. To all our listeners out there with root number 5, we encourage you to embrace the potential of 2025, navigate the challenges with grace, and make it a year that is truly your own.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.